Hello, all sentient beings, and welcome to the TransMissions podcast, where we talk all Hasbro, Takara, and third-party Transformers! On this episode of TransMissions, the Cybertronian Beast takes a look at MAAS Toys' prototype version of a Tetra Jet Starscream. Yakko found some Takara images of Overlord's new combined mode, and Big C reviews photos of Mech Planet's version of Goldbug. We have all of this and a massive Toy Hacks update. Today is Wednesday, January 31st, 2018, and this is episode 262 of TransMissions.
Welcome to TransMissions, the podcast that supports academic enlightenment for Transformers. I'm your host, Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent TransMissions team. Jeremy, aka Yakko.
Hey, how you doing?
And Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
Let's talk Transformers.
Who was that? Professor Yoshi?
How dare you?
Okay. Daryl's gonna get a bit off the deep end, but we're gonna try to do the show. We're gonna continue on. Yoshi's out on assignment this week, but he'll be back next week. Don't worry. So first off, before we get into everything, I do want to mention, because we got contacted from a fellow Transformers fan all the way in Athens, Greece. And this fan, his name, I'm going to try this once, but please bear with me because I am not that familiar with Greek. But our fellow fan...
His name is, it's right there. His name is Al.
Alkistis Dalkavuki. But yeah, he goes by Al, so we'll just call him Al. You can call him Al. He's doing academic research on Transformers fandom. Have you ever heard of such a thing? Well, I think that's cool. I mean, I have, I think, 7 doctorates at this point, so I am familiar with academic research. But yeah, so it's cool that someone is doing some research on Transformers fandom. So he's interested in learning how people became fans of Transformers and you know, collecting information on people who have gotten into this hobby. So to do that, he's set up a Google survey form, and he's given us a link. So we'll put that in the show notes. You can go there. And if you're interested in participating in his research, you can fill out that survey. And if you want him to contact you for a more in-depth interview, you can do that. You know, he put your contact information in and he'll contact you. So Al does want to stress that since this is an academic project, none of your information, none of your personal information will be shared or, you know, or given to a third party or sold anywhere. So you shouldn't get any spam from this if you do decide to participate in this research. But I do think it's an interesting project, and Al, you know, sent us these links so people can get in touch with him. So we'll put all those links in the show notes. But please try and help Al out. And he is a fellow Transformers fan. He's gotten into it himself. And he's interested in discovering the broader shape of the Transformers fandom. So we're going to help him out. So we'll put links in the show notes. We'll if he allows us, we'll also put his email there so you can contact him directly. And if you're interested, try it out. All right, so let's continue on with the show. We start off, as always, with our Patreon donations, or I should say Donatreons, because they are legion and span. That's right. Donatreon trademark Transmissions. So I just want to mention our good friend of the show, Chris. Chris is one of our friends in the UK who helped us with getting those Transformers animated comics from TF Nation, getting those prizes out to our, you know, some of the fans who won that contest that we did last year. So Chris, thank you for your support. And he's increasing his support by doubling his Donatreon pledge. So, Chris, we really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well done, Chris.
All right. And now, just to tell you a little bit about the things that Chris has access to because he is a Donatreon. And if you do join our Patreon or support us with a monthly donation on PayPal, you can have access to this too. We've got the next episode of Transmissions Declassified. So this is our January episode. This one was done by Yoshi, so he's still around. And it's all about merchandising. So this covers Transformers paraphernalia that are not toys and not comics. So all those interesting items that came up in the 80s because Transformers were
Things
so
like the
big.
coloring book and the flamethrower and stuff like that.
Exactly. And we've got a little teaser here. So this, by the time this show goes up, I think the declassified episode will be available to the Patreons because January is almost over. So at this point, it really should be ready for you guys. So here's a teaser. And if you want to hear more, all you got to do is sign up for our Patreon. Just, as little as $1 a month, you can have access to these Transmissions Declassified episodes. So here's the teaser.
There's millions. There's tons of them. And they touched every aspect of your life as a little kid. And they touched every trend that was going on in the 80s at the time. Like sticker collecting was big. There's tons of Transformer stickers, records, cassette tapes, everything that they could possibly put that brand on. They found a way to do it. The backpacks, school supplies, again, it's like you could live a Transformers life as a kid. Yeah, I imagine now I was probably such a dork with my Transformer portfolios and Transformer shirts and Transformer caps and stuff at school.
You know what? I still have I should say, but in the last 5 years, I bought online. I was able to get some of the old Transformers file folders that I keep my Dungeons and Dragons notes in now.
Yeah, those are the perfect example of the most ephemeral sort of should have been thrown away and it has no right existing all these years later sort of a quality to them. But yet they were such a big part of growing up back at the time, those folders.
All right, that sounded like a really fun discussion. So definitely check out more on this latest episode of Transmissions Declassified. Now, the other thing we've got for our Patreons, we've got that mega contest coming up. So this is the contest we're going to do later in the year where we're collecting prizes to give out to our Patreons. So we're going to have a lot of things to give away. We've already mentioned the Masterpiece Megatron MP36. We've got the Till-All-Are One #1 Transmissions cover that's graded, CGC graded 9.8 and encased in plastic. Now we've got another prize that we can reveal. So last year we did send Mike, our favorite editor, to HasCon, and he procured a few items for us. One of them was an extra Titans Return RC. So if you have not been able to get your hands on a Titans Return RC figure, that's going to be one of the prizes we're giving away later this year. So just a little bit more incentive to sign up for the Patreon and get your entry into our contest. So all you got to do is be a Patreon when we do the drawing later in the year, and you'll have a chance to win. And if that wasn't enough, we're going to do a drawing right now to see who wins this month's Toy Hacks $10 gift code.
What?
I know, surprising. All right, so this is we've been doing this every month since September. We pick a new name to win a $10 gift code from our list of patrons, and like all of our Patreon contests, everyone at the duly appointed supporter of the Transmissions podcast level, you guys get 2 entries in the contest. So those folks have doubled their chances to win, and right now we're going to pick this winner. So, Jeremy, can you please have your assistant give us a number, a random number, between 1 and 84.
Okay, that's a big number. Computer, give me a random number between 1 and 84.
Your random number between 1 and 84 is 38.
38. Brad Bawalski.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
Congratulations, Brad.
Well done, Brad.
The fact that Brad lives near Jeremy has nothing to do with his winning the contest. Brad, did you hack Jeremy's Alexa? Congratulations, Brad. Use it in good health. Hope you enjoy it.
We'll be in touch, Brad, to get your pertinent information and make sure that you get this prize ASAP.
Yes. And we want to see pictures of like when people get, use the Toy Hacks gift certificate. We want to see pictures and stuff of what you bought and what you're using it on.
Definitely. Yeah. Show it off. Show off your stuff. All right. Congratulations to Brad. And let's get into the rest of the show and start off with some toys. Daryl, give us the goods.
All right. So earlier this week, we got an image released from MAAS Toys that showed the first prototype image of one of their Tetra Jets. This one is they're calling it Renegade, and it's their Starscream. And it's just a shot of the torso. And I think it looks pretty darn good. This is all prototype still, prototype plastic. And when I look at it, I see full G1 Seekers. I don't see anything that would make me think that it's going to turn into something that, looks like a triangle. It looks like it looks like they've done a really good job of incorporating the G1 robot mode into this different looking alt mode. So I'm pretty excited to see how this thing goes, but there's not a whole lot of images here. There's just the one. So yeah, I mean it's exciting, but I'm curious to see how much more we can get out of MAAS Toys in the future here. What do you guys think about this? I know we talked about it a bit when they first released the images or the concept about it, but a Tetra Jet. What is that? Anything about that appealing to you guys, Charles?
I think I did mention this the last time we talked about it, but one thing that was an issue for me is that I would actually much prefer to have a Tetra Jet where the robot mode was kind of molded to match the Tetra Jet. Like I am not really excited about a kind of G1 cartoon model Seeker that just kind of, I guess, collapses inside of the Tetra Jet. I know that's very accurate to the cartoon, but I feel like, I would prefer to have like a Cybertronian robot mode redesign to match the Tetra Jet mode. Okay. So I mean, I think this it definitely looks really like it looks really cartoon model accurate. That looks very, very much on point there. It's just something that I personally am not interested in.
Mm-hmm. Seekers are very iconic. So to take the Tetra Jet, which is something that comes from the first episode of the G1 show, and change it drastically, you're playing with something that doesn't get a lot of there's not a lot of fans of it outside of the G1 audience. So I think that you really need to kind of keep the alt mode, the robot mode looking the way it does. But we'll see. I mean, there might be something there might be something that to take a look at it outside.
Well, I mean, just to for a comparison, like MAAS also did the Bumblebee like War for Cybertron version, right? Or not War for Cybertron, the War Within Bumblebee. Like that figure is that's from that series where Don Figueroa redesigned Bumblebee's robot mode to match the alt mode that he had in the first episode of the G1 cartoon.
Right. That's right. Yes.
That's more what I would be looking for in a figure like this.
True. Okay.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, seeing the Cybertronian vehicle mode and then the Earth parts on the robot mode, that's always bugged me, even with the cartoon.
Okay. Well, I have one more image, and this is in-hand images of Masterpiece Movie Barricade came out this week. And they're not the greatest photos, but because they look a little dark and it looks like somebody took them on their bed. But you do get a look at the alt mode eventually. And the alt mode looks pretty sharp. I'm not super thrilled with the look of the head, but I guess the head is perfect, if you want to say so. I have memories of it being different, but maybe that's just, 10-year-old like memories in my brain that are maybe making it out to be better than it really is. The figure looks good for a movie figure, but I'm more of a fan of the alt mode. The alt mode is pretty sharp. As far as the Masterpiece line goes, guys, what do you think of this, Jeremy?
It's a Transformer.
Okay.
I think it looks fine. If you're a fan of the movie styled figures, I think, it's great that you're getting more Masterpiece quality figures in the official line. The police car mode looks great. I'm not a fan of the robot forms, but it looks like it's very articulated. If you want to recreate the "Are You Ladies Man" 217 scene, you can do it.
Yeah. Although the Bumblebee that was in that scene wasn't the Camaro or the new Camaro. It was the old Camaro.
Well, you can just get one of those from the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only movie toy I have.
Really? That old Camaro one?
Yeah.
That is a shit toy, dude.
It is. And that's why I don't have any more, because I'm like, well, this is crap.
Yeah. Charles, do you like Ford Mustangs?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually I agree with you that the alt mode looks really good. I have the 2007 Barricade figure. That was one of the few figures I got from the 2007 movie line, and I liked it in general. It wasn't, the robot mode still has issues. The head, I agree with you, was a little bit different. So, but I think this head, I guess, matches what's in the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, the alt mode looks good. I'd probably keep it in alt mode if I had this figure, but I probably will not pick this figure up just because I'm not interested in Masterpiece movie figures in general.
Yeah.
But for the folks who are, I think this looks pretty good. I've never been happy about the aesthetic choices they've done for the live action movies. So, that's kind of a deal breaker.
You don't want to reward that by buying them.
Well, it is what it is.
Yeah. Well, that's what I brought this week. Jeremy, did you find anything?
Yeah, I have. The Hasbro has updated their website with Power of the Primes images and character descriptions. So we see all the toys, including Optimus Primal, which I think this is some art we haven't really seen before, which is the optimal Optimus mode. This is art, not a photo, but it's kind of nice seeing they're actually updating the website, and you can click on the different images. Most of the toys are ones that are already out. Optimus Primal is, I think, the only new one.
Mm-hmm.
So just a quick update on that. And then the other thing
I did want to point out that, again, Snarl gets left off, just like in the 86 movie for the Dinobots.
They have Sludge there. Sludge's toy isn't out yet.
Well, yeah, that's under the games category, though. Sludge's Swoop. But yeah, you got to be consistent. Let's see. The other thing I have is Takara has updated their manga and card scans of their Legends Overlord. And one of the things that's interesting about this is they have revealed one thing. They have Overlord Giga and Overlord Mega. It comes with 2 Power Masters and like 2 modes to kind of go with the classic Japanese G1 fiction, with Giga and Mega being the 2 Power Masters. But then there's this new combined mode that they've shown off, which has I guess it's just like all the pieces together with like this giant gun on his back and the jet on his front. And I'm not sure the American version ever showed that mode.
Well, you'd need 2 Overlord figures to do it, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess this is combined with 2 Overlords.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be getting 2 Overlords, Daryl?
Well, I mean, no, but not normally anyway. But there are still a bunch of Overlords sitting on the shelves in my Toys R Us and Walmarts around here. So, I mean, if one of them goes on sale, like crazy low price, I mean, probably still not. This it looks neat, but I'd do it once and think, what the hell am I doing this for? This is dumb. So, yeah.
What you need to do is, if there's a sale, buy up a few for the inevitable Nick Roach appearance at a convention and sell them to people so they can get signed.
Sure. Yeah.
Mark it up.
If you remember way back in the early days of the podcast, they had those Minicon combiners as part of the Generations toy line.
Yes.
And then someone did like a mega combiner that combined 3 of them, and I went and duplicated that.
Yes.
And I had extreme buyer's remorse after doing that.
I believe I benefited from that at one point. That I got one of those.
You
Sure
did
you
get
did.
one of those. Yep.
And Charles, what do you think about this, though?
I mean, I guess it's cool. I mean, one question I have is, so does this package actually come with 2 Overlords? Are they selling 2?
No, I don't think it does.
I can't imagine they would.
Because, I mean, the actual Overlord Giga and Overlord Mega figures are basically the same figure, with just the little flaps that cover the Power Masters open and close. And Giga has a jet on his arm and Mega doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, those crazy Japanese.
Yeah, but I do like that they're paying tribute to the the fiction of the G1 series that continued in Japan.
Yeah,
Overlord played a big role in their series, and we didn't really get it over here. And I think Wreckers was one of the first major Overlord appearances over here.
Yeah. I had never heard of Overlord before Wreckers.
Mm-hmm.
So
one thing that I don't, if you look at the figure picture, are the panels on the Overlords attached backwards? When the panels close, it looks like that should be the inside of those panels. Like,
I think they're open though, aren't they?
No, but look at the one on the right.
Yes.
When it's closed,
it looks like it's the inside. I think that's just how the flaps are for like a vehicle mode or something.
It looks weird. It looks like they're on backwards.
You're weird.
Well, you need to buy a couple Overlords and find out.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll have a reason to have a sale nearby. So with that, I will throw it to you for your topic.
Thank you. Well, I do already have one Overlord that I got from Amazon and not Toys R Us, so maybe that was the problem. Because my first topic is very sad news. It looks like we're getting a massive die-off of Toys R Us stores in the US. So we already talked earlier last year, or late, at the end of last year, how Toys R Us was going through bankruptcy, closing a lot of stores outside of the US. Now the other shoe is dropping, and they're closing 180 stores across the United States. And of course, two of them are in my area in Pittsburgh. So my local Monroeville Toys R Us store is on the chopping block. So no more Toys R Us for me.
Don't they know who you are?
Well, I apparently I don't shop there enough because they're not staying afloat.
Well, but they're too expensive.
Yeah, it's a chicken and egg. Yeah, I saw another article where they mentioned how like somehow Toys R Us, the corporation, still managed to pay all its executives millions of dollars in bonuses while they're in bankruptcy and closing all these stores. So make of that what you will. I won't have any further comment on that. But yeah, this is sad. And I guess the other question I have is how many total stores are there in the U.S. that they can close 180 and still have some network of stores available?
Well, I mean, there's still one in your area that's going to remain open.
Yeah,
there's
that's true.
a couple in my area, and one is closing, I believe. So, if they're basically consolidating to like one store per, major metropolitan area.
Well, I can tell you from my experience of crossing over into Port Huron, there's one Toys R Us store in Port Huron, and it is old. It's very old and run down looking, and it's staying open. So I'm happy.
One thing I have seen online is if Toys R Us actually owns the property, it's more likely that they're going to stay open.
Okay.
If they are renting the property, it's likely not financially feasible for them to stay open.
Right.
Oh, interesting. Oh, well, looks like I'll be spending more time on BrickSeek with Target to find those toys. Folks listening, let us know if this closure is affecting you, if you're affected by this Toys R Us thing, and if you do shop at your local Toys R Us, and if this is bothering you. I guess in the short term, I will have lots of sales, so maybe I'll be able to get some good deals.
Assuming they don't mark up the prices and then put them on sale, so they're right back where they were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. And so my actual toy topic, we've got more little figures from Mech Planet. So we talked about some Legends figures they were doing last week, and now we've got some more. We've got two Bumblebee variants. One is Goldbug. He's a gold bug. And the other one is Cliffjumper. So these are HS13 and HS15. And I think we talked when we were looking at what was the figure that we were looking at last week?
There was a Bumblebee.
It was the train one. Choo Choo.
Was it?
Choo Choo.
You're thinking of that Hearts of Steel.
It's still Hot Toys or Hot Soldiers.
But we had a Bumblebee a few weeks ago.
Well, it wasn't Bumblebee was one of the figures being used for scale, but there was another figure we were looking at.
Soundwaves?
This is going to bother me. Okay.
Let's just go through the entire G1 line.
Was it Huffer?
Is it Hound?
No. No.
This is Charles's brain breaking.
The Hearts of Steel Bumblebee was Mech Planet, not Mech.
That's this. That is also this.
Oh, never mind.
Well, let me tell you a fun little anecdote about this Mech Planet Hot Soldiers line. I tweeted out a picture of that Digibash of the Hearts of Steel Bumblebee in the Thomas the Tank Engine colors, and I like to credit as many things as possible. So I was trying to find if Mech Planet had a Twitter. So I Googled Mech Planet. There was nothing. I Googled Hot Soldiers. Do not Google Hot Soldiers. It didn't come out well.
Now, especially not on your work computer.
I did.
Oh, that's bad,
Yeah.
Daryl. Anyway, so now I did find we looked at there was a Mech Planet Optimus Prime, a legend size Optimus Prime, and in that picture they had a Bumblebee to show the scale for that Optimus Prime. That's where we saw the Mech Planet's Bumblebee. That these Mech Planet Goldbug and Cliffjumper are remolds of. And they still have the pot belly that that Bumblebee had.
Yeah.
So that pot belly is kind of, that bothers me. But the cool thing with the Cliffjumper is that he has that bazooka that he showed off in
Sniper bazooka.
Yeah, sniper bazooka that he showed off in episode 1 of the G1 cartoon. And then the Goldbug comes with an alternate head and a little baby Ravage and a satellite, a Sky Spy satellite. But they all have that pot bellies. That's still bothering me.
The one for the Cliffjumper doesn't look as bad. I think the squared off edges, I think it looks a little better. But yeah, I can see where the pot belly.
Cliffjumper was technically a different type of car.
Yeah. But I know I can see where the Goldbug one is a little bit of a troublesome, but I'm okay with the Cliffjumper. I think it looks good.
Mostly, their head molds look great though.
Yeah,
and I love that the little Ravage looks like it actually transforms.
It does. It goes in their Soundwave.
So that's cool.
Nice. Does that Ravage come with the Goldbug? Why are they putting a Ravage with the Goldbug?
Because apparently there was one that came with the. I was talking with Duggernaut today, and I guess Duggernaut is a real big fan of Hot Soldiers.
Well,
but
aren't we all?
And he was telling me all about this and how he's going to be picking up this Goldbug for the Ravage because he already has the Soundwave and he wants to have the tapes for it. So they got him.
Well, at least this Goldbug probably isn't like $150.
No, I've
for just the
probably
Ravage.
$17 like the other one.
Yeah. All right. Well, Jeremy, what do you think of this figure?
I mean,
or these figures?
Outside of the whole potbelly issue, I think they look great. I mean, the coloring on Goldbug is really good. Cliffjumper, we just see black and white, so who knows? But I mean, I love all the accessories that it comes with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, with Goldbug, you also get you can change the back of the car to have the spare tire. And for the price we've seen for some of the other ones, I think these are great figures for the price.
Cool.
Is the thing that the Sky Spy is sitting on? Is that the tape holder? Or
yeah, it looks like a cassette holder.
Yeah. Is there any reason why it just has the word "hot" on it?
The brand,
I guess. Okay, that makes sense. Never mind. Go on. What are you looking at?
Well, unless you had any further comments, Daryl, that was it for my toy topic.
No, I'm good. It's a neat topic. I'm loving all these Legends class things though.
Cool. Let's move on and get into some rapid fire toys.
Absolutely, positively, definitely. Nobody can get the job done faster than I can. Nobody.
All right. Well, it's been a while since we got something from Toy Hacks, maybe a month, but they decided to put 3 months worth of stuff together into one insanely huge update for January here. So they sent out an email, and if you like new sets for your new sticker sets for your toys, this new update is 32 sets. 32 damn sets. And okay, so first up, Power of the Primes. They have got 4 sets for Power of the Primes. They've got the first wave of deluxes, and it is labels for Dreadwing, Slug, Swoop, Jazz, and they created an alternate set for G2 Jazz. So if you were like me and never actually had G1 Jazz, but were able to get a G2 Jazz as your jazz, then get this. It looks good. They have some sets for Titans Return, a set for Slug Slinger, and for Wingspan. Plus, they've created some conversion sets. So if you manage to have 3 Titans Return rewinds sitting around, you can now label them up and turn your rewind into Frenzy or Rosanna or Enemy. They all look really good. They also created another conversion set to turn the Last Knight's Nitro Zeus into Thunderwing. This also is with some help from the Thunderwing head that comes with the Siege of Cybertron set. It looks pretty good.
I was about to say, that head looks really good.
Yeah, very good. And so if you wanted to take a look at that and you were wondering what you were going to do with that Thunderwing head, there you go. They have one set for the Last Knight, which is Hound. So if you've got a Last Knight Hound and you wanted to get some new labels for it, it gives a little bit more color to them. A really cool idea came from the pages of IDW, and they just made some more Autobot symbols. These are inspired by the Alex Milne design, and they are some really cool emotive Autobot insignias. So if you've been reading the IDW books and you notice that he's the Autobot insignias kind of change every now and then depending on what the bot is, what is happening in the scene, then you take a look at these. There's 2 different ones, plain red, and then there's a glow version, which is kind of red to yellow. And they also created a Rodimus star symbol, which is kind of neat. I don't know where I would use the Rodimus symbol one, but they're cool, so who cares? Get some. And now third party, and holy crap, did they make a bunch of third party sets this time. All right, so Make Toys Meteor, that's Starscream. It looks great. They made a G2 version for Make Toys Downbeat, and it looks phenomenal. If you've got Toy World's Coolsville, they made a set for him, G1 version. They finished off the Piranacon set from TFC for their Poseidon. So Iron Shell, Thousand Kill, and Big Bite have all got sets now. And they've started work on TFC's Trinity Force, their first set for Raging Bull. If you've got the Mastermind Creations Turbine, which is the IDW-styled Whirl, they got a set for him. If you're a fan of Fans Toys and you have Terminus Giganticus, which is the Omega Supreme, they got a set for him. That's a pretty big freaking set, only clocking in at $25. But man, it's a big toy and a lot of damn stickers. The Fans Toys continues with Spin Drift, which is their Sea Spray. Nice small set, giving them some new colors. And Fans Transform Mission is the combiner for Havoc that they made, is their Menasor. And the first 2 sets up, they did a Disorder, which is their Wild Rider, and Revolt, which is Dragstrip. And they both look fantastic. Dragstrip honestly looked great on his own, but they gave a little bit of a punch to it with some more stickers there. And they have the Perfect Effect Jinrai, which is the replacement Optimus Prime figure for that that one that came out just last year, and it looks really good. Generation Toy OpEx is another Optimus Prime. That's that big masterpiece scaled one. X-Transbots Klaatu is the Cosmos figure. And to round it off, we have 2 sets from DX9 and their War in the Pocket series. It's Bumper and Quaker, which is their Slag and Sludge. Some really good sets there from Toy Hacks for January. Go out and get them.
All right. That is a lot of sticker sets. So you could spend lots of money on stickers. I hope you've got some left over for the figures.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that does it for all our toy talk this week. So let's move on to some trips to the store. This is where we show off all the cool Transformer stuff we got this week. We do this as a video on YouTube, so you can see all the stuff we got in beautiful high definition. We will also be streaming it on Twitch as well, so check that out. We'll let you know when that's going up. And so help us out by watching our videos, but you can also listen to all the stuff we talk about right here in the podcast. So keep listening, but then go watch that YouTube video. There's lots of cool stuff there. So without further ado, trips to the store. All right, Jeremy, why don't you start us off?
All right. I have a couple things. First thing, my comic shop is having a sale on trade paperbacks, trying to clear their stock. So I picked up this for a few bucks. Definitely less than the $20 price it was originally. This is the Infestation crossover, the first one that had G.I. Joe, Transformers, and whatever the IDW group was. And I figured, why not? I never had more than a couple of the original episodes, but this is the one where Cup originally goes to the Dead Universe. And
yeah, this is where they killed Cup the first time in a IDW crossover.
Next thing I have, this was courtesy Tom Belong. I last week I showed off a cover he had sent me that I was looking for, and I also got Lost Light number 13, the Alex Milne artist edition cover. And so thanks to Tom for that. But I also picked up for Charles, because my store had one copy, picked up this, so it's going to be making its way to Pennsylvania.
Thank you.
So, yep. So that is everything I got this week.
All right. I think I'll go next because I've also got a light week, and we'll finish up with, I'm sure Daryl's been saving up. I think I saw on social media that Daryl's got some things he's ready to show off.
He was bragging before the show.
So get me out of the way, and then we'll let Daryl take over. So yeah, this week all I've got is Lost Light number 13, the Jack Lawrence cover. As I mentioned before, my local comic shop does not get variant covers anymore. They don't order enough. So I am stuck with the regular cover. But this was actually a really good cover, and I do have and Jeremy is nice enough to get me that artist edition from Alex Milne as well. So I'll have two. So thank you, Jeremy. And This is it. All right. Daryl, bring us home.
Well, I got some comics. I also got the Jack Lawrence cover for Lost Light number 13, and it's a good cover. It's not, it's got a lot going on there, so I thought it was pretty neat. So yeah, I picked it up. After having a conversation with the Duggernaut and him telling me that I should have seen it. This is the Nick Roach cover, and homaging the Spy versus Spy stuff between Swerve and an Anode. I was like, that's cool. I got to pick that up. So I picked up that one too. And I had to get Alex's cover for the Lost Light 13 as well. So yeah, it's a great cover. And I was trying to get a cover for Charles, and I was trying to get a cover for Doug, but my store told me we only got one in, and you got it. So I went in to pick up my books, and there was another one on the wall. So I was like, what the hell, guys? So I ended up buying it anyway, because I thought, you know what, maybe Charles won't have it, and then Jeremy got him one. So I ended up with two copies of it. So maybe a prize. We never give anything away here, so maybe we'll give something away. I did find a toy this week. I've been looking all week for the Power of the Primes Optimus Prime. I didn't find it, but I did find Grimlock, and he's good. He's fun. Messing around with him. His tail is it leaves much to be desired for. But he's a fun figure. A lot of fun to mess around with. His arms are, nice and small like they should be. His mouth opens like you would hope for. Lots of fun to mess around with this guy. Charles showed off the robot mode. I figured I'd show off the alt mode. But yeah, I haven't tried putting them in, combining them or anything like that. But he's been fun. I did get a card. This is Vector Grimlock, and Vector Grimlock peers into future to see when Grimlock king.
That was a good one.
Yeah. Now, I did go to the Ontario Collectors Con today. That's in Mississauga, where they hold the TF Con. And I wasn't particularly looking for anything special, but I was going there to see our good friends Mystic Marvels and Duggernaut, and Vangelis was there selling his wares. And I found a couple things. This is one of Jeremy's favorites. This is RID Ultra Magnus, and he's a big boy. This is a big guy. He comes with this gun thing, which I don't know how the hell he's supposed to hold. But
not well.
Yeah, so he's got this.
Actually, it's supposed to attach on his back, I believe.
Okay.
But the sarcasm when you mentioned it was my favorite toy.
I'm basically getting this guy because I have the Optimus Prime already, and I'm just looking to put him together with the Optimus Prime and pretty much leave them combined like that. But when I got him here, I was like, oh, he's got a battery pack. I wonder if it works. It didn't. So I opened it up, scraped it all out, and it does now.
Ultra Magnet, transform.
So there you go. Ultra Magnus transform.
I was going to ask you this, but Quattro beat me to it in the chat. So are the tires ready to fall apart?
They are all actually really good. All really good, except one is completely missing. But the store that I volunteer at has a bunch of junkers, and I'm very confident that at least one of them has this particular tire that I will borrow.
And never give back.
They don't need it. And then I was really hoping Yoshi was going to be on this week, because the other thing I got from the show would make him explode. This is Transformers Attack of the Decepticons on record.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. It's the story, I guess. The jacket needs a bunch, needs, it can't get any work, but it's pretty banged up. But at least the front of it still looks nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can get a nice record frame.
I could, yeah, and that's probably what I'll do with it. But it's quite nice.
I'm wondering if anyone has ever digitized those.
I think they have them. I think Ignash has linked to a bunch of these on YouTube. Okay. But yeah, no, they're cool. I've checked out the record. The record's in good shape. There's no big scratches in it or chunks missing out of it or anything like that. So if I had a record player, I'd play it.
For you young whippersnappers out there, a record is what they used to put music on. It's an analog disc. It's not a compact disc. You don't need a laser to read it. You just use a needle to follow the grooves in the disc, and it produces sound.
There you go.
Hipsters know all about it now, because that's actually one area of the record industry that's actually increasing in sales.
Mm-hmm. But that's all that I got this week, and yeah, it wasn't too big of a week, I don't think. Kicked both your asses, but that's not difficult. But that's it.
Cut his mic. All right, we're back from our trips to the store, and that'll do it for this episode of Transmissions. Before we go, we do want to mention that we have done a little bit of remodeling on our website, and we've got a new page that's all about subscribing. So if you go to transmissionspodcast.com/subscribe, That'll give you all the links you need to subscribe to the podcast in lots of different places, on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, just the RSS feeds, everything you need, not just for the Transmissions podcast, but also for our associated network shows like Paladins of Voltron and the Yoshi Cast and Yakko Yaks. So check out all that stuff.
Yeah, that page isn't exactly a new page. It was just a much uglier page than it is now.
If you haven't seen it before, it's new to you.
Yes. And if you have any problems, blame Daryl, then contact me.
Yeah, so transmissionspodcast.com/subscribe. So if you're already listening to the show, but if you need to figure out exactly how to subscribe, or you want to subscribe to other shows in our network, that's where you can do it. All right. Well, that'll and also another reminder, since we're not doing any feedback this week, but if you do want to send us feedback, we still have the voicemail. You can leave us voicemails in addition to sending us written feedback. So if you go to transmissionspodcast.com/contact,
contact or feedback, both go to the same page.
Okay. There you go. So transmissionspodcast.com/contact or /feedback. And you can leave us written feedback, or you can leave us a voicemail, and voicemails we will usually give priority to, but please, short messages, not longer than 60 seconds. We'd appreciate it.
I think the voicemail, it limits you to 120 or a minute and a half. So
okay, that's
the hard cutoff. But yeah, shorter is better. But hey, if you want me to play at the soundboard, there you go.
All right. We'll see you next time, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Later.
Thanks for listening to Transmissions. Remember, you can help support the show by donating to us directly via Patreon or PayPal. Once you become a donor, you will receive access to donor-only goodies, like donor-only contests, listening to us record transmissions live, and getting Transmissions swag at 20% off. You can find links for this at transmissionspodcast.com/support. Subscribing to us on Stitcher, iTunes, and Google Play is also a great way to support us here at Transmissions. Every subscription we get helps us get better noticed on those services. Leaving us a comment and 5-star review doesn't hurt either. Be sure to come chat with us on Discord. You will find a link for Discord at transmissionspodcast.com/discord. And of course, you can always send us an email at feedback@transmissionspodcast.com. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
You can have access to these Transmissions Declassified episodes. So here's the teaser.
God damn it, Yoshi!
Wow, that was loud.
Sorry.
I don't think that was the right clip, Jeremy.
That's the only clip I got that said Yoshi.
All right, so it
was either that one or the other donation related clip.
No, that's okay. Good job, Jeremy. Good job. All right, well, then let's move on to the world of knockoff toys with KO Corner.
No.
Oh no, I'm looking at the wrong document. Sorry, I thought there was a KO Corner added in. Sorry, nope, wrong document. All right. See, that's why I was opening all these documents and I clicked on the wrong one for looking at that.
The Paladins of Voltron.
No.
I wanted to get it in before Charles hit the button.